Home Depot is not treating the garden center like a seasonal side department anymore. They're investing in it, they're expanding it. They're building larger garden centers into new stores. They're using AI to answer customer questions. They're working on ways to help customers succeed with plants. So those customers keep coming back to Home Depot. The right response is to pay very close attention because for years, the easy answer has been, well, people come to independent garden centers because we know more. There's actually customer service here. We are knowledgeable. And I have to be honest, I don't think that answer is strong enough anymore. Home Depot has a garden center business that is massive. We're talking about one of the biggest and most important categories inside the company. They are not casually selling a few hanging baskets in spring. They're studying plants, consumer behavior, climate zones, customer success, and how to make gardening feel easier for regular homeowners. And on top of that, they now have an AI tool called the Magic Apron. That means the customer who used to need a staff member to answer, what do I plant here? Or what do I need for this project? Can now get an answer on their phone through Home Depot's ecosystem at any hour of the day. So, if your garden center's entire competitive strategy is, we have knowledgeable people, we have quality product, then Home Depot is working on a scaled answer to that. Not necessarily a more thoughtful answer than what you have, but a fast answer, a convenient answer, a very well-known answer. Independent garden centers have to get much clearer about what they offer that Home Depot cannot easily copy. I'm Rebecca McCusker, founder of McCusker's Marketing for Horticulture Businesses. We're a marketing agency that works with garden centers, farms, and horticultural businesses to help them modernize their marketing, grow their audience, and turn seasonal attention into long-term revenue. And on this channel, I talk about what's actually changing in the garden center industry, what independent horticultural businesses need to pay attention to, and how to compete in a market that's moving faster than a lot of owners want to admit. So today, we're talking about Home Depot, not because I want to scare you, but because I think this is one of the clearest signs that garden centers need to stop marketing like it's 2005. And before we get into it, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment. I would genuinely love to know, are you seeing Home Depot, Lowe's, or other big box stores become a bigger threat in your market? Or do your customers still clearly understand why they should choose you? Okay, let's get into it. The old argument is not enough anymore. For a long time, independent garden centers have leaned on a few core differentiators: better plants, better knowledge, better service, a more beautiful shopping experience. And those things still matter. They will always matter. But here's the problem. If your customer does not know that before they decide where to shop, it doesn't help you. If they search hydrangeas near me and Home Depot shows up first, that matters. If they need mulch, soil, annuals, and a tomato cage, and Home Depot is 10 minutes closer, that matters. If they're a new homeowner and they're intimidated by gardening and Home Depot gives them a simple confidence building answer online, that matters. The issue is not that Home Depot is better than you, please. The issue is that Home Depot is now removing friction. And modern customers often choose the option with the least friction. Many independents are still relying on the idea that people will discover them, drive further, pay more, ask the right questions, and then come back consistently. That's a lot to ask from a distracted customer. Home Depot is simply trying to sell more plants. I think they're trying to own the beginner gardener. That is the customer with the most uncertainty. The new homeowner, the young family, that customer is incredibly valuable because if you help them succeed once, you can shape their habits for years. And Home Depot understands that. They're not just asking, how do we sell this person a plant today? They're asking, how do we make this person feel capable enough to keep buying garden products from us? That's an important distinction. because a lot of independent garden centers still think in terms of transactions. Mother's Day traffic, spring rush, weekend sales. But Home Depot is thinking in larger systems. How do we answer the question before the customer enters the store? How do we make the store easier to shop? How do we use AI to reduce confusion? How do we make plant success more likely? How do we keep the customer inside our ecosystem? That is the real competition. It's not the price, it's not the inventory, it's not the convenience even. The competition is the customer relationship. And for a long time, garden centers could say, we have experts. Home Depot does not. We could say that like 2 years ago. Last year, we could say that. But now customers can ask ChatGPT, Google, YouTube, TikTok, Reddit, Facebook groups, plant apps, and Home Depot's own AI tools. Are all those answers perfect? Often no, but they are accessible, and accessibility matters. So the question is no longer, do we know more? The question now is, have we made what we know visible, usable, memorable, and connected to an actual buying experience? See him out. See him. Stop it. I have a bookstore comparison for y'all. Independent bookstores versus Amazon. We all lived through this. On paper, independent bookstores should have lost. Amazon had more inventory, lower prices, endless reviews, fast shipping, and convenience that a local bookstore could never match. So how did independent bookstores survive? How is there this independent bookstore down the street from me right now? The ones that survived did not try to become tiny, worse versions of Amazon. Of course not. They didn't say, we can carry every book cheaper and faster. Of course they didn't. They said, we're going to become something Amazon is not and cannot become. They become community spaces. They curated. They niched down. They hosted author talks, book clubs, children's story times, release parties, writing groups, and other neighborhood events. They made shopping for a book feel personal. They turned a transaction into an identity. You see this in other industries too. Local coffee shops did not beat Starbucks by becoming Starbucks. They won by becoming more specific, more local, more personal, more atmospheric. Craft breweries did not beat big beer by being cheaper. They won by crafting local identity, taproom experiences. So what independent garden centers have that Home Depot does not? Number one, true local context. You know the soil. You know the neighborhoods. You know what survives the weird wet springs. You know what customers ask every single April. You know what people are actually struggling with. But you have to turn that knowledge into content, signage, email, workshops, and sales conversations. It cannot stay trapped in the heads of your best staff members. Number two, curation. Home Depot can carry a lot, but independent garden centers can make choosing easier. That means not just selling plants, but creating collections. Like the new homeowner starter bed, the pollinator patio, the deer-resistant shade garden, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I want my yard to look nice package. Number three, emotional experience. People do not only garden because they need landscaping. They garden because they want beauty and they want peace and they want to feel proud of their home. And they want to become the kind of person who gardens. And they want their kids outside. That is emotional. And independent garden centers are uniquely positioned to speak to that. Number four, community. Home Depot can host workshops, and they do. They do kids' activities on Saturday mornings. They do create events, but they cannot be locally beloved in the same way that a true independent can. Your garden center can be the place people bring visiting family. The place local artists pop up, the place kids do a spring craft, the place native plant people gather, the place the community associates with the beginning of spring, the start of fall, and that is powerful. Number five, continuity. This is huge, guys. A customer should not just buy a plant from you and leave. They should enter a relationship, of course. They should buy the hydrangea and then they get the care email. They attend the workshop and then they get the supply list from the workshop, right? They come to the kids' event and then they get invited to the next family-friendly weekend. They buy the vegetable starts and then they get the June troubleshooting guide. This is where most garden centers are leaving money on the table. Events create attention. Spring creates attention. Mother's Day creates attention. But if you're not capturing the email addresses, tagging the interest, and following up with a text with the next step with the customer, you're letting attention evaporate. So what to do now? First, stop assuming customers understand why you are better. They don't. You have to show them. Second, build beginner pathways. Home Depot is going after the beginner because the beginner is so valuable. Beginner plant bundles, beginner emails, beginner reels, beginner garden coaching, beginner friendly events. Third, become more visible. This is the part I will say over and over again. Being excellent is not enough if people don't know you exist. You cannot rely on your reputation with the same customer base forever. Boomers are aging, younger homeowners are discovering businesses differently, new residents are moving into your market and building habits without you. Fourth, turn your store into a seasonal destination. Not every event has to be huge. You don't need to exhaust your team with massive festivals every weekend. Please don't do that, but you do need reasons for people to come back. Maybe just like a porch pot bar, a kids planting morning, a native plant walk. Maybe it's a bring us your ugly corner design day. These experiences give people a reason to choose you over the easier option. Fifth, own the relationship after the purchase. I mean, honestly, the sale is not the end, people. It's the beginning. Home Depot is trying to help customers succeed because success requires repeat purchases. Independent garden centers should be even better at this. After someone buys a plant, what happens? After someone attends an event, what happens? If the answer is not much, that's the gap. And that's the opportunity. The warning is not that Home Depot is going to destroy independent garden centers. I don't believe that. Independent bookstores did not disappear because of Amazon. The good ones simply adapted. They got clearer. They became community-centered. They leaned into what made them different. And I believe independent garden centers can and will do the same. The ones that will survive are going to be the ones that understand that the market has changed. Customers now have more options. They have more information. They have less patience for confusion. They are more digitally influenced. And they're more likely to discover you online. So no, please do not become Home Depot. Please, 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 please. But you do need to become easier to find, easier to understand, easier to buy from, and harder to forget. If this video was helpful, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what you think. What's the strongest differentiator your garden center has that Home Depot can't copy? And if your garden center needs help becoming more visible, building better customer follow-up, creating events that actually lead to revenue, or turning your marketing into a real growth system, that's exactly what we do at McCusker's Marketing. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.